Atamoi. You felt it deep in your bones. The betrayal, the decay of your spirit, the churning confusion as the world demands you show up in ways that strip you bare and leave you hollow. You've been fed the lie that your worth is tied to your constant availability, the hollow applause of a life spent in the pursuit of fleeting connections, each text, each yes, cracking away at your essence. You've played the part, the good soldier in this war of illusion, yet you feel the weight of your own self-abandonment. But let's tear through the comforting shroud that envelops you. Look deeper. Have you ever noticed how some people hold an almost supernatural control over their surroundings without uttering a word? They don't shout. They don't beg. They simply withdraw, and everything changes. The energy shifts. People begin to question, chase, feel a void. Can you feel that? It's profound. Imagine if you chose silence instead of your automatic response. Imagine if you took that step back. What would happen? Here's the thing. When you stop being predictably available, the world goes into crisis. Those around you are accustomed to your reactions, your emotional servitude, and when you choose to withdraw, they are left to grapple with their own shadows. They've counted on you, not for your authenticity, but for the comfort of knowing you will always engage, always please. But you aren't there anymore, are you? You become a mystery. They realize they know nothing about you. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." Now, think about that. When you become emotionally inaccessible, who begins to feel desperate? Who gets irritated, tries to provoke, hoping to elicit an emotion from you? This response reveals everything about them, and nothing about you. You've been giving yourself away to please those who don't even deserve a fragment of your silence. Every forced yes, every immediate reaction has siphoned away your energy, leaving you exhausted, frustrated, drained. You wake up wondering why you feel empty, but the answer is simple. You were too available for the wrong people. This isn't about flipping the script on others. It's about choosing yourself. It's about realizing that the excessive availability you've been taught to embody is not a virtue. It's a prison. Listen carefully. Staying available makes you predictable, an emotional rag that everyone can use and discard. Do you realize that? When you're too abundant, too easy to access, you become worthless to those who claim to love you. They won't respect what they don't have to earn. So let's start asking hard questions. Who deserves your time? Who truly deserves your presence? And more importantly, who deserves the silence you owe only to yourself? Before you answer, we must dive deeper into why you react so easily. What drives this almost automatic desire to respond, justify, and please? Carl Jung spoke of psychic energy, that precious force that you need to guard fiercely. This is not mere energy, it's your essence. If you let the world decide where it goes, you become a puppet, dancing to the whims of those who pull your strings. Every time you react impulsively, you waste it. You expend your inner strength on what does not nourish you. The ghosts of unresolved conversations haunt you, and you feed the dynamics that should have died long ago. When you live drained and vulnerable, you become prey to those who will exploit your kindness, your fear of rejection. You've given them the map to your emotional landscape, and they know just where to poke. You are not weak, you are misdirected. But know this, a healthy psyche is one that knows how to keep that energy within the system. Can you say no without guilt? Can you remain silent without feeling cowardly? Can you observe before you act? Because true power doesn't lie in reaction. It lies in your ability to choose. Ask yourself, how many times have you lost sleep replaying conversations in your mind? How many hours have you spent ruminating, trying to figure out why someone treated you poorly? That's energy wasted. Each of those moments drains your essence, and the minute you reclaim your energy, you break the chains of others' expectations. Realize that those who depended on your emotional availability will become confused when you stop feeding their narratives. They will lash out because your silence reveals their emptiness, not yours. Jung said, "We do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Your unavailability forces others to confront their shadows. This is the price of true power, the willingness to endure discomfort, misunderstanding, and perhaps even hostility. Now, let's talk about boundaries. This isn't just a concept, it's a ritual, a sacred act. Setting a boundary is like cutting cords that bind you to emotional chaos, standing firm in your truth, finding strength in your silence. There's a pivotal moment when you realize you don't need healing. You need to stop lying about who you are. So, what does it mean to be unavailable? It means you take back control of your energy, your time, your peace. You begin with small acts of resistance, not responding immediately, breathing before reacting, turning off your phone without guilt. You say, "Not today." You say, "I won't get involved." But above all, you remember this: you owe nothing to anyone but yourself. This shift will be uncomfortable. You will feel guilt. You will think you're being selfish. But recognize this discomfort for what it is: the disintegration of the self you've been conditioned to be. Conscious unavailability is about saying yes to yourself, reclaiming your peace from toxic relationships that only exist out of inertia. When you stop explaining yourself, you reclaim your power. What happens when you choose this path? First, you may face loneliness, estrangement, the feeling of losing those who only valued you for the role you played. But this distance becomes a rebirth. It is the silence that transforms confusion into clarity. The solitude you find is not absence. It is the presence of your own truth, a strength born from avoiding self-betrayal. You stop being a reactor and start shaping your own reality. In this silence, respect grows even if it's from a few. The more select you are with your energy, the more valuable you become. You will lose people along the way, but you will rediscover your essence. You will be misunderstood, rejected, but with that comes the fierce respect of those who see you for who you truly are. You are no longer available for emotional crumbs, for voids disguised as love. You only accept what resonates with your wholeness. And if you have made it this far, it's because a part of you knows. Being loved means nothing if that love requires the dissolution of your own identity. The path of true self-love begins when you choose yourself, even if it means standing alone for a time. Now tell me, are you ready to be misunderstood? Are you prepared to feel the weight of rejection in the name of reclaiming your inner power? Do you accept the price of becoming whole? If you are ready to make this transition, I invite you to reflect this back. I choose my peace. This is your journey. Own it. Share it with anyone still caught in their own web of pleasing others. This isn't about comfort. This is about confrontation. It's about seeing yourself for who you are beneath the layers of expectation. You are not your wounds. You are the power that resides in reclaiming your silence, your boundaries, your very essence. As you embark on this path of self-discovery, understand that it is not merely about setting boundaries. It is about redefining your relationship with yourself and the world around you. In this state of conscious unavailability, there is a fierce reclamation of your energy. You begin to see the threads of connection that have kept you tethered to the chaos and manipulation of others. You start to untangle those threads, and it is in this act of withdrawal that your true self begins to emerge. It is an act of self-preservation, a declaration that you will no longer be the emotional outlet for those who do not honor your existence. The silence you create is not a void. It is fertile ground for growth. This silence allows you to reconnect with your essence, the core of who you are. In this space, you will find clarity. You will no longer be defined by the whims of others, by their emotional demands or their projections. You are in the process of becoming who you were always meant to be, whole, authentic, and radiant in your truth. You might feel the weight of loneliness at first. The absence of familiar voices, the distance from those who once occupied your time and energy can be daunting. But remember, true solitude is not the absence of others. It is the presence of self. It is where you find your voice, your passion, your purpose. Embrace that solitude. It is the crucible from which your newfound power emerges. In this journey of individuation, the concept that Jung spoke of, you will learn that every boundary you set is a statement of self-love. It is a declaration that your time, your energy, your mental and emotional resources are precious. You will begin to see the vast difference between being available and being truly present. Availability is an illusion of connectedness. Presence is grounded in authenticity. When you are present, you engage with the world from a place of power, not from fear or obligation. Let this realization sink in. You are not responsible for the emotional well-being of others. You are not their lifeline. The moment you decide to reclaim your energy, you liberate yourself from the chains of expectation. You take back control over your life because you acknowledge that your peace is paramount. Those who truly care for you will understand your withdrawal and respect your boundaries. They will be drawn to your newfound power rather than repulsed by it. You will also notice how those who depended on your incessant availability will react. They may try to provoke you, attempt to manipulate you back into your old role as the emotional caretaker. But this is where you must stand firm. Just remember, their discomfort is not your responsibility. When you choose to remain silent or to walk away from emotional games, you will witness their confusion morph into irritation, their need for control slip through their fingers. And this, too, is part of your transformation. You see, there is power in your unavailability. It creates a void that forces others to confront their own insecurities. When you withdraw, when you refuse to explain yourself, you become a mirror reflecting their chaos back at them. This is a painful but necessary process for both parties. It is through this confrontation they can begin their own journey of self-awareness. Your silence can be more powerful than 1,000 words. Now let's talk about the practical aspects of this transformation. The steps you take must be intentional. Begin by carving out moments in your day to practice stillness. This could be through meditation or simply sitting in silence, allowing your thoughts to settle. Engage in activities that bring you joy and reinforce your connection to your true self, whether it's painting, writing, hiking, whatever allows you to feel grounded and free from external noise. In these moments, reconnect with your passions, your dreams, the essence of who you are. It may be uncomfortable at first. You will find yourself hesitating, wanting to reach for your phone to check in with others or respond to their emotional demands. Recognize this impulse, acknowledge it, then consciously choose to resist it. This resistance builds strength. Over time, it becomes easier to set those boundaries, to define your space, and to cultivate the silence you need for your inner growth. Channel your energy into personal projects that ignite your creativity. Write that book you've always wanted to write. Take up a new hobby. Connect with like-minded individuals who understand and respect your journey. Surround yourself with those who encourage your growth, who celebrate the boundaries you are setting rather than trying to breach them. You deserve relationships that amplify your presence, not diminish it. As you progress, you may find that the world around you begins to shift. People will either align with your new energy or fall away. This is natural and essential for your growth. Be prepared for it. Embrace it. Understand that every person who leaves your life may be making space for those who will honor your journey. You are not losing. You are gaining. You are creating a sanctuary for your true self to flourish. This path can seem daunting and lonely, but remember, true strength often lies in solitude. You are forging a path that few are willing to walk. Embrace the discomfort, the uncertainty. It is through this journey of self-discovery that you will find your true voice, your true power, a power rooted in authenticity and self-respect. If this resonates with you, I invite you to join our community. Subscribe for more insights, for discussions that confront the lies we've been told about connection, power, and self-worth. Together, let us reclaim our essence. Let us walk this path of transformation as a united front, sharing our truths and supporting one another along the way. You don't have to do this alone. Click subscribe, and let's begin this journey toward true freedom. Together, this is your moment. Embrace it.